What is up, you guys? Hope you're having an awesome day. I'm your host Ayman Hassan and welcome back to another video. We're in quite an uncertain period of our lives right now. Speaking for myself personally, I've never lived through an epidemic that's affected me so closely. I was alive during swine flu and bird flu, but those never really hit home as much as this has. It's changing, people. That is the bottom line. For better or for worse, till COVID do us part, I guess. Too soon? Come on, it's me. Either way, let's just get straight into this one. These are the top 10 scary changes because of the global crisis. Starting us off at number 10 is climate change part 1. Now this is scary in a good and bad way. Lockdown measures put in by the outbreak has reduced human activity significantly. I mean, no if we're staying inside, we're certainly not affecting the outside, are we? Why am I even like this? Why do I even script this into my script? Either way, this massive and sudden decrease in our activity has decreased emissions dramatically. China enforced their lockdown in January, and by Feb, their carbon dioxide emissions went down 25%. The lack of humans out in Italy have caused dolphins and more wildlife to return to the canals of Venice, and it's like the earth is prospering when we aren't. And I mean, fair enough, we do kill the planet. It makes sense it's thriving when we aren't. Earth 1, human 0. Coming in at number 9 is climate change part 2. Now it makes me super sad to know that our emissions can decrease so quickly when we aren't out there living our daily lives and just harming the planet. But I think the scariest part of this promising change is the fact that this tiny dip in emissions will really make a difference in the long run. Now emissions will obviously further drop in the economic depression that's to follow the outbreak, just like they went down during the 2008 recession, but that's just not enough. I know climate change is the least of our concerns right now during this pandemic, but is that not scary? Multiple populations of multiple countries are just staying inside their house, barely adding to their carbon footprint. Commercial travel isn't even happening, and yet that didn't even make a dent in the work we have left to do. Kind of makes me sad knowing the damage we've done to the earth is just irreversible. We're all inside, and it's still not thriving as much as it should. At number 8, we have your relationship status. God forbid someone finds love in this epidemic right now. Honestly, if this person is you, then I'm gonna have to give you a slow clap. Well done. Despite the quarantine, despite the deaths, despite the literal health pandemic, you have somehow found yourself with a quarantine. I know things are probably very exciting right now. It must be very nice, probably being the only person the other person sees. However, do not in your mind hope for the best, because you are gonna be back on Tinder and Bumble after all this is over. No cap. It's facts only. Yes, of course, it's all nice now. You're both working from home or just not working at all, but it's not gonna last, people. You guys are just filling each other's boredoms. When life goes back to normal, your quarantine may be the next thing on the death toll. And yes, I came up with that myself. That was a good joke. Come on, people. Tell me that in the comments. It was a good joke. Thank you. Filling on the 7th slot is awareness. And I feel like it was one thing to be aware of germs and being clean before this, but it's really taken on a whole new meaning, I feel. I actually watched Contagion the other day, and A, it was very creepy how close to home it hit, but B, it also emphasized in so many sequences how easy it is to transmit a disease and how honestly we touch everything. Giving a banknote to a cashier, opening a door, touching the hand railings on a subway. Humans are literally germ cesspools. Every time someone touched a surface in the movie, I was like, oh my god, just make it stop. That's like 40 more people being infected now. This is not a good look. I was taking hand washing and sanitization seriously, but I think that's something a lot of people will no longer take for granted after this. I ain't touching Goodbye. Handshake? No, just wave from afar. Now, number 6 is politics part 1. This is one of my favorite subjects, you guys. You already know. I studied that at uni. You guys are probably not surprised since I brought it into a lot of these videos recently. And if you don't like it, sucks to suck. By all means, I'm not forcing my opinion or beliefs on any of you. I'm simply just stating mine. You can have your own. They don't have to be the same. It's all love here. Either way, anytime there's an issue affecting the whole world, there's 0% chance that politics will not be involved. Countries shout on China for supposedly creating the epidemic and enforcing a strict travel ban and lockdown, and now all those countries are asking China for help, and it is willingly giving it. Things like this are called soft power, people. Hard power of a country are things like your army, your means of aggression, whereas soft power is more the ability to co-opt and attract other countries to you. Now, in saying that, China has a lot of soft power right now, whereas the US is lacking it a lot. Canada lent a hand to China a few weeks back, and now they're returning the favor. That is mutual soft power. Thank you for coming to my political science lesson. Either way, the US is still screwing over Iran with its sanctions, and that's also a form of soft power. The international dynamics of the leaders will definitely change after this pandemic, and I don't know if it'll be for the better. It's probably gonna be for the worse. Politics usually always is. Coming in at number 5 is Politics Part 2. Y'all thought I was done. Say less, I'm never done. Verbal diarrhea is life, that's literally me. Either way, now one of the biggest conspiracies that surfaced during this pandemic was whether COVID-19 was a form of biomedical warfare. Did China create the virus in a lab to cull their population, spread it, and then be the ending heroes? Did the US create it and plant it in China to make them look bad but also profit from it financially? Theories, you guys, theories. The use of a biomedical agent like COVID-19 during this day and age is a very scary possibility already, considering how close we were to World War III only a few months ago. Things are volatile, leaders are on the edge of their seats trying to make the best decisions they possibly can. If word and evidence got out that this was in fact man-made, imagine the anarchy. It is literally over for us all. I will kill someone. I don't know who, but I feel like I'd have the right. At number 4 is appreciation. I think one thing that this crisis has made even more evident is the lack of appreciation service industry workers get. I already think we owe so much to our healthcare workers, and I know everyone is literally thanking their lucky stars that we have these people working and saving lives, but imagine how hard it is for them not being able to even hug their families at night. People literally always talk so much a McDonald's worker, a grocery worker, and more when these people are the only ones still working and allowing us to eat and stock up our houses. They're on the front line as much as healthcare workers, and it's scary how underappreciated they've been in the past, but no more. During this pandemic and afterwards, be nice to everyone, okay? Filling at number 3 slot is the Purge. I've already seen a ton of videos online where people are literally at a Walmart or Costco and are fighting each other for like bread. Now that is anarchy at its finest, people, and if we're out here attacking each other for like bread, it begs the question, are we man or are we animal? That sounded so philosophical. I love myself for that. Good job, even. Either way, all that happened during the start, before lockdowns were even in place, that was all precautionary. Now the lines for grocery stores are winding around the corner. Lockdowns seem to be getting extended, not shortened, and it's only so long before people have had enough and like, screw these lines, screw everyone, screw the rules, every man for himself, and basically just start destroying properties and stealing. I'm not gonna lie, that thought has crossed my mind. Will I do it? No. Do I want to? Yes. Now at number 2 are revolutions. If there's one thing this global crisis has highlighted, it's how a leader or government has handled the outbreak. Some have done better than others, some have truly bottled it. It's a mixed bag, it really is. But I think many populations are coming to realize how much their governments have done a disservice to them during this time. Who does the government really protect? Now some governments are offering rent relief, meaning you don't have to pay your rent until all this is over. However, where does that leave some of these landlords that are living paycheck to paycheck? Canadians can qualify for up to $2,000 a month if they qualify. Americans are being offered $1,200, which may help you if you live in the South, but not in more expensive areas. I think this pandemic showed the true colors of many, and therefore I think people are truly done taking from anyone and everyone. Now, I'm not encouraging revolutions by any means, I'm just saying they could happen. And if they do, I predicted it. You heard it here first. And finally, at number 1 is business as usual. Everyone on earth is going through such massive changes right now. Countless people are dying, people's loved ones, their families. It has everyone scared. And the scariest thing to me is no change after this. What if after all this is over, nothing changes? It just goes back to the way things were. I mean, think about it. What really changed after the swine flu outbreak or the Ebola outbreak? It's all we heard about while it was happening, and a few months afterwards, it was like the biggest afterthought. Obviously, this pandemic is operating at a much larger scale, but what if nothing actually changes? What if people still talk service industry workers? What if workers in the NHS don't get pay increases? What if climate change just continues getting worse? The scariest change about this is if we don't learn anything from it. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. That is why I should be Miss Universe 2020. And that is it for today's video, guys. I know I talked your ears off in this one, but I feel like these causes are very dear to my heart. I hope you learned something. I hope you're keeping well and keeping safe. As always, I've been your host, Eamon Hassan, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.